and get away from these sort of puggier tournaments. And this is definitely doing that for sure.
Reliability, I guess, is the main word. Consistency in play, consistency in the broadcast. And it looks like, Scriv, we're getting underway here. MIB on the T side, w7m on the CT side, and a few nays in plays on Kizza here. I'm interested where they're going to be going down.
Yeah, we'll see. Like I said, they love the B rushes, but it's going to be more of a contact mid. Juliana very ready to receive here. Oh, and that is so unfortunate, you know. The initial headshot comes in through the side of the box. Never nice. Meanwhile, moving on to the B-bomb site. Yedinya ready and waiting. Clean headshot onto that player kind of crunching in. The 4-on-4 gets a little weird. Bomb's gone down. They're trying to regain the stairs control. Virginia just giving it to them, taking another, picked up the Glock here and looking pretty damn good with it. Look at these frags coming in for the CT side. Solid stuff. They've got a kit available as well. I think there's someone on it, ready and holding. They're trying to spam away, but so blind. There's a smoke and a body in the way. It will end up being the kills actually going the way of the T side, but the round goes the way of w7m.
Yeah, you could just see how Yedinya there was just playing in towards the B lobby area. 3 of her teammates were coming in from kind of the CT spawn, the main sort of site side. And her solo pressure, 1 frag, and a lot of kind of presence in that position took all the attention away from the bomb site. And then her teammates could swarm in, get stuck on that bomb. And obviously, by the time kind of MIBR realized the game was up, the bomb was already so far defused. So some good team play and some great awareness there from the Brazilian player.
Interesting to kind of see here. We've got a fair number of AKs coming into this round. Some of the players without armor for MIBR. So we'll see what the deal is with this. Kara going to open up pretty cleanly. Loving the player cams as well. See if we can get any, you know, massive ROPS-esque foreheads right at the front of the screen. We've just got the Discord not quite hooked up properly for Topher. But we're getting there. We're getting there. Either way, 4-on-4. A little weird as the molly comes in. Going to push one away. Smoke goes down. Bruna could work with it. I don't know. It looks like they haven't really caught what's going on here.
No, because Topher actually died before the smoke went off. So I thought they would have spotted that there could be a second player behind the sandbags. Before the moment, given the posturing, it doesn't look like it's Griven. Bruna finds the first, peeks out for a second, but is swiftly traded. And again, it's going to fall on Yedinya here to make an awesome play, but she goes down too early on. A lot of pressure now on Juliana here.
Yeah, absolutely. Trying to play up close and personal. Not going to work out. Kenya takes her head around the corner. And I mean, you know, we talk about this at all levels of the game. That reset round is kind of crazy, to be honest, with how damaging it can be. So yeah, massive round there for the T side to be picking up. MIBR I'll be very happy with it. I mean, certainly for me, you know, the lack of armor and things like that for some of the AKs can be a bit of a risk, especially working into the MP9s. Don't know if it was fully intentional and just an overshoot on the economy for a couple of the players, but nonetheless, the 1-to-1 comes in, and now, yeah, w7m immediately, well, out of the frying pan into the fire. Is that how the saying goes? I think that's what we've got here.
Something like that. Something like that. It's going to be a bit late out here, but the cliche references will always be out in tow. Forced by, though, in response. You got to go for that one. You can't let your opponents get away with a reset without at least trying it back yourselves. But as we always know, these force buys are so difficult because you have no money in the bank. Deagle Armor's best case scenario. They have got some utility, w7m, and that needs to be placed very, very well if they want an opportunity in this round.
I mean, we've got a lot of B control coming in here. In fairness, you can rotate players on towards A. Usually, you know, you have a heavier A defense anyway, but they can go quite deep if they want. Not sure we're fully live here, though.
Yeah, looks like a bit of a stop, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think we've lost a player. The HUD doesn't say so, but the players alive does, and there was a little...
It's either that or the B-Hop Olympics. So...
But yeah, I think we'll have some nice cam paths. But yeah, indeed, not live, confirmed. So just got to wait it out a little bit here, guys, and hopefully should be back into things quickly. Always awkward timing when it's early in the game, especially when you've already got a back and forth nature. The deep B control we were talking about, for example, it's now kind of useless.
Yeah, but no damage exchange, and that's the, I guess, what we'd call the tipping point of not being allowed to restart the rounds. So no issues on that front. Just waiting for the match medic to get underway. And player cams, we don't see this in the Challenger League, so bit of a change up. And I guess the idea is adds a lot more personality. You get to really see the players behind PCs, behind the action, and I don't know. You feel like you're more in the moment, don't you, Squid? Feel like you're almost there with them, playing the game.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice for sure. I mean, I think our issue with Challenger League is maybe some of the players. Definitely no one to really pick out, but I know that they have so many kind of games going on. They don't really like the webcams on and stuff all the time.
Nice guitars. Look at that.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know that their rooms maybe look as good as that. You know, or often quite dark. To be fair, gamer rooms. But yeah, I mean, it's nice. It's nice, and like you say, it just adds some kind of person. You know, they're having a good time. They're having a good time, despite the fact that we're here waiting. So
listen, I'm enjoying this game of what can we see in the background that's interesting. And of course,
yeah,
the most famous one is of course Kindar with the I'm assuming you've seen it, the dragon ceiling kind of painting, sort of kind of emblem, I guess you'd sort of call it. And that's the best I've ever seen. I'm hoping to see something on one of these cams that can even try and trump the Kindar furniture and layout.
Yeah, I saw a genie lamp on one of them.
Well, that's good.
So that's pretty
a good one.
A huge yellow wall. That I mean,
are those some blinds or is that the wall?
Yeah, I think it does look like blinds, doesn't it? The way it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. The guitars are pretty good though. The guitars, multiple.
I like the look here. It's very kind of modern, isn't it? Super clean look.
Yeah.
And then just the guitars, so you know what's up. You know what matters. CS and guitars.
Yeah, that's all you need.
The ultimate combo.
And then this is a proper, you know, monitor, super close as you can.
That was a real gamer because there's like stuff on the floor in the background.
Yeah. So that's the way it goes. Just waiting to get the match medic in here and have the round reset. But some good banter. I think that was pretty good, mate. It's good stuff. We're filling the air with heat quite well.
We've done this before. We've been here before.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say, actually, we're shocking for having anything interesting in the background of our cameras. There's absolutely nothing.
At the same time, it's like I feel like we, as you know, camera talent don't really want that because it draws away from us a little bit when we're trying
our
to.
Egos are so enormous.
No,
time.
There is no time
do we want to look at anything else.
And you get a bit worried, don't you, that maybe the Twitch chat's gonna come after you or whatever and bully you for, you know, not having your bed made or something as simple as that. I mean, I make my bed every day, but I'm just trying to think of it.
You're telling me you've been bullied by Twitch chat?
No, but I do have
for not making
I do have the worry. I do have the worry that it could happen on that one fateful day that I've slightly overslept for my 9 a.m. call time or whatever, you know, because I don't keep great hours. I know you're pretty good because of the coaching, but yeah, I don't keep fantastic hours. But I have a, you know, Wheezy. Everybody knows Wheezy, the like designer, color chrome. I don't know what it's called, but I have a piece by him on my wall. So you know, that's not too bad.
I was actually looking at his website the other day because I'd quite like, you know, he does he takes a normal picture and then he does. His cubism, right? You know what I mean? Where you like,
yeah, I know.
Puts the shapes over in the different colors. I was like, I might quite like that to be like my Twitter photo, but haven't got around to it yet. But if you're watching Wheezy, you might have a new customer soon.
Indeed. Yeah, I think you definitely struggle for things in the background, don't you? Because you've just got a window. So.
Yeah, like I rent the flat as well, so it's not like I can just paint the walls pink or rip the curtains down and stick up some dragon logos or I don't know.
They've got to be the endpoint logos, surely. Or do we like to keep it professional on broadcast, I suppose? Which,
Yeah,
speaking of...
Are we live?
I think so.
We're back, guys. We're back here for ESL Impact. A bit of a break. This is what we're here for, Scriv. Back underway.
Absolutely.
And hoping for some good action.
Yes, the HUD as well, just to point out for folks, will be fixed in the next round. Takes a little bit of time to catch up after a reset and everything. So it is not 2-1, it is 1-1 currently, and we are looking at the return force buy. A nice little flash. Eugenia did this last time out. We commented on it. Tried to make a move this time around that was a bit more aggressive, but unfortunately falls flat, and it looks like they have secured the B-bomb site by way of mid. Looking very, very good here to win this round.
Any strategy looks good when Fly just finds 2 entries and you run up behind it. So good stuff on her. But not too much of a resistance that time around from w7m, of course. Early on the pistols, we can't expect too much. But as we always talk about, Scriv, even if you're not winning these rounds, even if you can't pull off the force by victories, economic damage can be so valuable. And to escape with no kills would be quite problematic down the line if they let MIBR really bank up that cash.
So, holding for a couple of kills here that might come their way. MIBR really not taking any chances with this. Yeah, staying kind of on the maximum radius of that bomb, and they knew there was something afoot, able to take down another. So there'll be a bit of scariness with that Deagle. You know, they're always capable of 1 or 2, but ultimately, this round also looks very, very good. MIBR, yeah, in with a really good chance to get flying here on the T side. And I think that's what they like. We talked about it, right? When they're in control, when they have a bit more of a domineering hand on things, they do look very, very good. So w7m going to have to move quick to shut them down.
We won't mention that nade in mid. We didn't see anything here on the podcast. On the eco, w7m, I'd like to see Bruni use these flashes. That'd be great to try and cover some ground. Almost caught in the open is lifestyle here, but doing work. Deagle in play. Not too shabby. 4k for her. And who doesn't like the eco frag? It's always good to stat pad early on. Yes,
absolutely. Get some kill bonuses going. Deagle almost in for 2 there, but not quite. So third round, as said, easily on the board. And now we move into this all-important rifle buy. As I've said, w7m, they've got to, at the very least, make this one competitive. Stay hot on the heels of MIBR.
Yeah, as you mentioned, the kind of big result of winning that reset round, as well as keeping those anti-eco so clean, is now the money for MIBR is excellent. So for w7m, it's not just about winning rifle rounds here. We need to see multiple in a row. And the problem is, Scriv, MIBR getting very aggressive, taking a lot of space here on ramp for the first frag. For a moment when they were Topa, but the trades are going so brilliantly. Lifestyle finds 2. It's all carnage here as MIBR rest all their hands onto this A-bomb site.
Yeah, thick and fast as they take the fights, the brute force. That's what we like to call that type of round. Nearly goes south. It felt like Bruna had an opportunity, kind of fluffed it up a little bit. Nice follow from Arkinia, knowing her angles through the smoke. And now just one remaining. Probably move to save here. You're going to struggle to buy in the next round, but give it a go, she shall. Escaping, just escaping. The bullet's not quite making it there, right? Couple of dinks, unfortunate. Can't really finish any of them off. Definitely a bit of panic coming in there, I think, at the end.
Yeah, indeed, of course, though. Technical problems can be a little bit hard to get in the zone early on, so at least our hope is that all the players settle in and it's some good shots down the line. But it's going to be another eco coming out from w7m. Again, on the topic of economy, any frags here would be a result. But from what we've seen so far from MIBR, barring the pistol, been pretty plain sailing, and you wouldn't expect that to change here up against the pistols.
Yeah, sniffing a couple out here in towards middle, and that first kill is often the hardest in rounds like this, right? And it can give you a bit of confidence moving forwards. Unlucky for the Zeus, but yeah, business as usual here in round number 6. Do have a push down the ramp that, you know, might catch one, as you can see. They're just, I think, in the form of Fly, just floating around at the back. So you never know. But yeah, things looking really good for MIBR. Vertigo already moves fast. They love to play fast. They're finding success while doing so. Really, really scary stuff if you're w7m right now.
Head stack in the maze. Doesn't look like anybody. Oh, fly style here. Come on, peeking. Come on. Thinking about it, but gonna happen. No. Oh no. First player goes down. Glock in play. Head stack doesn't work out. I was waiting for that one, Scriv. Tease me in. It didn't plan out.
Yeah. Well, often the way it goes, isn't it? Unfortunately, with moments like that. Nades are another one that always kind of tease me a little bit, but are underwhelming. So, you know.
Especially nades around stairs.
Yeah.
They never make any sense.
For sure. Yeah. Unlucky. Unlucky on the boost. But we'll see here, moving forwards. Another rifle to come in for w7m. We do have a pause. Touchwood, as we say in the UK, it's not anything too serious and is more of a tactical call at the moment. Looks like it with the length of it. I would say, indeed, w7m trying to sort themselves out going into this next round.
And I say, Scrib, my desk is made of wood, touching it all the time, and our luck has panned out as the break seems to be over very quickly here. Looking at the side of w7m, mentioned it a lot already, but got to start finding some rifle rounds. The opening pick, though, again going the way of MIBR. At least the trade does in the end. 4-on-4. What did w7m choose to do from here?
Just kind of resting on their heels at the moment. Unsure of where to send the resources. Still sticking around with this ramp control, though, is probably the move. Crack angle as well for them to creep up. It's pretty genius here from Bruner. Will manage to get the kill. Maybe needs to make it out with a second, or at least setting it up, and eventually finishing off a second is a brilliant hold. Very well read there by Kara and Bruner. And they deliver as well, right? Just Hera now to pick up the pieces.
Looking good. Keeping numbers alive as well at this rate. Hera. Bomb yet to be recovered. There's so many players in defense here. How do you even isolate Jules? You've got to play a jump spotting. Plenty to swing off contact after Hera is indeed spotted out. Fires the shot. Triple peak comes in. Beautifully played. And as I was hinting at there, so important to keep numbers alive. If you only live with one or two, suddenly the reset potential comes so high. And Bruno, of course, around the sandbags, doing work here early on.
All right, let's see. Made in Brazil, of course, got plenty of cash available to answer back. They will absolutely be looking to shut things down as quickly as they can. Keep this lead a-rolling. Kara with the off angle. And, you know, Fly was nearly in with the right idea, but looked away at the very last second. Kara able to find the first, but it's immediately traded by Little Z. Now, the big thing, Fly, maybe spawn-based, and, you know, the bomb ends up in the wrong hands, basically. And the bomb is now 3/4 of the way up ramp. Definitely needs recovering, and it's information, of course, for the CT side to work with.
Flashbang's going out. Boost comes in. Little Z, so eyes on the bomb. That still needs to be recovered. And still plenty of time on the clock, but you hesitate too long, you don't get the bomb under your control, nothing about to end the round. Suddenly, 50 becomes 40, becomes 30, becomes no time at all. But bomb is recovered, creeping up towards A. The problem is, though, Kara here on the AWP, if the utility isn't perfect, she could have a field day.
Yeah, absolutely. There's definitely plenty remaining here for MIBR. Got to get it down in good time. Make sure that it's, you know, fully down as well. Don't go ahead of these smokes. And, well, Kara's got the angle, but the flashes are brilliant. Topher in towards Ivy here. Trying to go for a bit more. You kind of have to in that scenario, but unfortunately falling south. And now just the B players, really. Dinya and Juliana not really in position. Not really able to do an awful lot here. They've got a bit of that utility to try and get a retake going, but, you know, disadvantage right now. AWP still in play. Really not going to be easy, but they're going. They're fancying their chances. Arkinya the first line. Oh, and there's the beautiful flash from Little Z as well. Arkinya going to get taken down, but it's in from behind. Kizia looking good to finish off the round, and MIBR once again straight back on the board after losing a round.
Yeah, indeed. I think it has to be said, though, in the 2-on-3, saving was probably the best way to go. It was a good attempt from the w7m girls, but the utility wasn't enough. They couldn't isolate any duels, and as we can see going into this reinvestment, have got an AWP, 3 rifles, but it could have been a tiny bit better, and that's probably what we would like to be seeing. But nonetheless, we're back into the action, and Bruna here, aggressively down yellow, has a lot of map control for her team.
Oh, going to lose a teammate, though. Bruna kind of has to go large, looking for the boost up here above the smoke. It doesn't come. Fly, spotted out as the smoke dissipates. But now what? It's the trouble with this spot. Maybe need some support to get out. Oh, Little Z to miss the sitter. Hits the harder shot. And still, the MP9 is trapped in. Meanwhile, towards middle, they've created some space, and B-bomb site looks pretty enticing. Yedinya has been in so many different spots down here. Not going to be seen. But let him pass. Jumps up to find the first. Drops the bomb on the backside. Will be traded. There's just, you know, not enough manpower around her. Bruna's here pretty quickly, however. And look how low the remaining 2 players are here. Bruna has been spotted. Nate's coming in. Takes 1. And the trade, it was a bit scary. Needed to be instant, but Hera will get it.
It was a good attempt, and you could see, particularly in towards mid, MIBR are reacting so quickly on some of these rounds. It's great to see from them to get the informational ramp and immediately say, let's push out mid, take some space, and have a great time as they split that B-bomb. So it's a good stuff from them. Problem is, w7m back on the eco, and that's been the story of this first half. Economy has been dreadful for the CT side.
Yeah. Can so often be the case. Topher's opened up. However, Kizzy has got it from above. The new addition. Looking pretty solid these past few games, and continuing that trend in this one on the 7-3. Maybe a few eco kills to pad, but yeah, been relatively clean, and the rest of the round looks good as well, right? Unfortunate for Fly, as soon as I say that, she gets her head ripped off, but they've got enough information. One of the things they maybe do need to be a little bit careful of in these final few rounds of the first half, w7m seem to be getting quite deep into B in a lot of these rounds, right? Which is pretty troublesome.
Yeah, but so far you can just see, seems to be pretty aware of the map control, and as long as you're reacting correctly or even tempting in the over-aggression, it can be fine. A-smokes are landing, but 2 players trapped in towards this Ivy side, and Dinner there. Caught in 2 mines, looking the wrong direction. Teammate in Toff is going to fall, and just like that, 3-on-3 down to 1-on-3, and Zuliana here is going to need the highlight play of the century if he was like to pull this off. Can't connect with the first. It would have been amazing, but a tall order nonetheless.
Yeah, looking tough now, isn't it? w7m, obviously, a couple rounds, only the 1 rifle round actually on the board. But a lot of the kind of control in rounds and the subsequent victories feel like MIBR's mistakes. It's what we like to say a lot in games like this, where it is pretty one-sided for the most part. So w7m really struggling, I think, as we've talked about, to take this control of the game and playing a bit more reactively, sorry, than perhaps we'd like here from the casting booth, as it were.
Yes, we've seen a lot throughout. Quite a lot of B lobby control, but towards the ramp, it's felt very heavily MIBR, and even mid in particular, gone very much the side of the storied organization. You can actually see w7m adapting double mid stack, try and counter that, but they're wrong. MIBR going towards the B side this time, and it's only Yedina here in defense, and it's going to be so difficult. First flash partials her, and the entry's even better. How do you retake from this position? This is going to be so tricky, but a team kill, Scriv. What's happening here?
Yeah, the Molly doesn't quite land, doesn't quite go where... Well, I guess the player doesn't quite go where they're supposed to, right? Meanwhile, another Molotov comes in from the CT side, denies the bomb plant. Another on top of that. So Kizia left very, very low now, already with the advantage moving into this retake. W7M are in a pretty good position. Little Z falls on the backside. Missed shot, caught off. Bruna really, really been doing solid work with these annoying little plays. And now it is all going to be left on to Fly against 4 in total. You know exactly where she is. Spam coming in. Player on the bomb here as well. It's just a tap, just a fake out at the moment. Going to be a full commit in just a second here, but not the player with the kit. Fly tries to get cheeky. Juliana's got that one held down, and it is awfully close, but W7M picking up another rifle.
Yeah, you can just see on that retake, super well played by Bruna. I believe that was the player towards the B lobby. I guess she flanked from A or maybe mid, but the way she played that situation was she's on her own. All her teammates are coming from CT spawn. So you don't want to overface. If you die, you lose that whole kind of angle of pressure and you don't get any value out of the flank. So she stays alive. She lets MIBR on the flip side push into her, finds one frag, and from there, MIBR are caught in an awful position and retip them so much easier. Super well played and great understanding from Bruna there.
100%. One of the things that's escaped them so far, though, is that all-important consistency. Let's get some rounds together on the board. MIBR, you can see there's a clear shift, isn't there, where, you know, they maybe let one of these rounds slip away, the awkward team kill in there. Then they come into the next round, and it is a bit slower, a bit more patient in play. So I'm curious to see how it pans out for them. W7M going to lose the first. I think a boost over the smoke. Juliana caught towards bridge.
Tricky spot to lose a player so early on. Yeah, indeed. Looking at kind of the mini-map, we can kind of guess that was in towards CT spawn, trying to hold mid.
Yeah.
Kara here, and there's so much pressure to defend the site on her own. She finds the first, but it's swiftly traded. Given how out of position these CT players are, the site will be in the hands of MIBR, but this is the woman to watch. Toffer on the flank.
Or any other weapon, maybe the M4 would have done a lot better from there. Unfortunately, the MP9 just doesn't carry enough weight. Deep controlling towards B, rotating the bomb back with only 20 seconds. One might argue it's overthinking ever so slightly, but it's working out nonetheless. As Bruna is now the only one and, you know, just left guessing, right? There's players all over the shop. I would have been curious to catch, though. I think we saw the smoke go down in towards middle and then a boost over to see in towards CT.
Yeah, it would have been... So there's an angle you can play in CT spawn where... I call it the forest angle, but that won't mean anything to anyone. There's like a kind of cone thing that you can stand on and see over the window into B.
Yeah.
Out in towards mid. And if you boost behind the box in mid, you catch a nice timing or you just know your angles really well, you can easily headshot that player if you know exactly where to aim. And that would be my assumption of what went down in mid. Is a few early trades here. A little bit nerve-wracking to think this is the force buy for WSM. 7M, not SM.
Indeed.
We'll get there in the end.
Indeed. I think we've done well. Some of the names we thought might catch us off, but we're getting there. It's good. It's solid stuff, and that's just the general, you know, South American language. Not really Portuguese. Not really our first, is it? So.
Listen, we can't all be Heku and learning Portuguese.
This is true. Could get the Duolingo rocking. Might be an idea. Bruna on that nasty angle, going to find the opener into this exchange on ramp. Once again, around the sandbags has been a bit of trouble. Sofa, meanwhile, sticking around, good for one, but has set up more, right? Kind of what it's about with that sort of angle, baiting for her teammates. Now just going to be Hera against 3. There's a flank coming in, bullets through the smoke, tagging her down. And the angle, unfortunately, crouched underneath the crosshair, so W7M. Another one on the board, looking for that all-important 5th and maybe a 6th to go along with it.
Yep, we've already reached the 4 of Zonic's law, so I guess the game is destined to at least go a little bit longer. But as we're kind of hinting at, 6 rounds would be a good kind of recovery. Of course, CT-sided map is Vertigo. Not massively, maybe a 9-6, 8-7 CT, but any extra kind of wiggle room, I guess, going second would do W7M a lot of good.
Fly hoping to catch someone above the smoke here. Obviously, here's the player. Oh, running in with the MP9. Is that a 4x3 moment? Or maybe just not ready for it, and Topher gets the double because of it. Oh, that's rough. It's very rough indeed. You also got to bear in mind as well, from our perspective, smokes are sort of server side. We're on a different server with the GoTV, so the smoke could have also been slightly different there to make the change, but all the same, yeah, I think watching that one back, Fly will be kicking herself.
What do you do now if you're MIBR? 3-on-5, I guess. We've just got to try and force out at least a duel. Boost comes in. Headshot angle, and Yedinha is aware. That's a beautiful shot, and of course the awareness as well to understand that was the position that the bullets were flying out from. But now slowing down at MIBR. If w7m don't make mistakes, it should be a fairly easy hold.
Yeah, for sure. Yedinha moving to a bit more of a headshot angle, will eventually go down, but bomb's been dropped, info's there. And yeah, how do you deal with a player at back 90? The answer is you don't really in a situation like this. You have to use the bodies to try and overwhelm. Not going to work. Little Z tries to get out. Can't do that either. So w7m with probably their cleanest round of the half so far. And they recover themselves a double AWP to boot as well.
Yes, indeed. Here's that shot once again. Look at the ragdoll. Love to see it. But up to that crucial 5. And a little bit of a shame, actually, because they've just broken the money of MIBR. Now the cash is completely dwindled. So a bit of a shame. There are more rounds to play out to really capitalize. But it's not going to matter if Little Z finds entries like those. That was beautiful.
Yeah, I said the B rushes, right? They got him in the back pocket. Always confident with him. Take it fast. Looking solid here. Controls come in pretty cleanly. Kills keep coming through. Little Z almost in for another. And now just Kara against 4 before the bomb's even gone down. And will indeed be finished off. Kizia, solid stuff. The 10-5 comes in. W7M, they definitely pick things back up, but they've got more work to do heading into half 2.
Till I get it, day and night, till I'm winning. Waste no time, have no business. Watch me push it to the limit. I'ma grind till I get it, day and night, till I'm winning. Waste no time, have no business. Watch me push it to the limit. I'ma grind till I get it, day and night till I'm winning. Waste no time, have no business. Watch me push it to the limit. I'ma grind till I get it, day and night till I'm winning. Waste no time, have no business. Watch me push it to the limit. If I want it, I get it. I put my pride to the side and handle my business. You know I grind, I gotta get with it. I'm trying to shine and lock down the city. I say it's mine, then it's mine. I'm working to have it. Can't waste no time in my prime. I turn to a savage. I'm like a lion when I eye it. I gotta go grab it. I'm always going for the win. I'm sorry, but it's a habit. If possible, I'ma snatch it. Remarkable, I'm the baddest. Headed right toward the future. I'm starting out at this second. I pit my grind and drive and leave it on automatic.
Okay, welcome back in then, folks. We are just about ready for half two here. Definitely a solid recovery there from w7m. Really, really impressive stuff, I think, in those final few rounds. They managed to, you know, figure a bit of what MIBR were going for, get themselves in some really nice spots, especially on A. But, of course, MIBR still a pretty chunky lead here to work with.
Yeah, indeed, and certainly going into the second pistol round is not a must-win for w7m, but it would go a long way to evening up this scoreline, and potentially down the road conversions as well could be important. But let's keep our minds focused on the here and now. 2 nade sets for w7m. A lot of utility to play with. Let's see where they put them down.
Yeah, definitely interested for this one, right? We see a lot of variation in EU when we're watching games on what to do with these A pistol hits. The molly towards sandbags. I'm thinking double nade for sandbags or headshot maybe. Little Z, though, going to be the first taken down. They've gone for more of a B-heavy stack. So actually, it's going to be a lot easier for w7m to break into A than they would expect. At the same time, you don't go crazy because you never know what's waiting on the other side. There's the double nade I was talking about. No one there, unfortunately. It's a great idea.
Watch the CT double nades, though. Watch the CT double nades. They could double nade the plant spot.
Oh, I think that's what they're looking for.
Hoping at the lineups. Oh, it doesn't quite come behind the box. The idea was brilliant, but clearly the execution a little bit lacking. That would have been amazing if they could have denied the plant.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It is unfortunate, but just, you know, those inch spaces and when there's smokes in the way, it can be difficult. They've got retake utility of their own. Player with a kit on the bomb gets taken down. The only ones who have been taken down so far. Meanwhile, there's a knife kill in the mix. A flank coming in. What is going on? Juliana, the only one remaining, just can't hit the shots. And they actually had 2 kits available just in case. They will indeed get that defuse in. And I think when you go in for a crazy play like that, when your whole MO of the retake is to just smoke off and body block for the defuse, having 2 kits is maybe not a bad idea.
Yeah, I'm a little bit perplexed, I'll be honest. Where the knife kill came in the middle of that, I guess jumping through smokes, a bit of shenanigans, maybe living up to the 2K name. And there of Yadina. Not quite sure, but that'll be devastating for w7m not to convert a pistol, and they're in such a strong position. The only hope now is that with the reinvestment, with some AKs in play, they can get the reset. That'll be their best opportunity to get back into this first map of the series.
See what plans are for this T side here. Meanwhile, mid pretty heavily locked off. Kind of on both sides of the equation, really. The CT's holding passively. The T side holding passively. Feet spotted out. And Juliana will dish out a fair bit of damage. And keep them around middle. Keep the pressure on, you know? Meanwhile, B, going to be the first port of call. No head armor there, I think, for Bruna, right? So, very quick kill coming in for Arkinia. And a nice early opener here for MIBR.
Smoke as well to buy time. Going to make it difficult for w7m to react. They've chosen instead, guys. B's on lockdown. Going to try A instead and shifting their way up. Kids are here. I don't think she's aware. I don't think she realizes the players across the line. And they're to her right flank. Still shifting up. She gets spotted out. Doesn't quite get felled. But now has the information. Can call in for the rotates. Nice smoke as well to cut off the bomb site. A deagle frag is found in the middle. And suddenly Scrib is starting to fall apart from a great position.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they're in the disadvantage, but also Little Z very low. And also 3 MP9s into a retake like this is going to be very tough because of moments like that, the AKs can actually beat out at range really, really well. Nice find coming in onto Topher, but a lot more than that going to be required here. It's a kit just in front. And seeing it so close maybe does look appetizing. But I don't think this is going to go how you'd like. On the MIBR side of things, tap onto the bomb. Juliana hears them both. Just going to take it chill. Lil Z in with the trade. AK probably not going to make it out, so you definitely do have to go for the fight on this one. Not a lot of time remaining. And, well, yeah, as soon as you take one fight, you're going to get shot in the side. Brilliant stuff from w7m on the Force.
Looking good. And an important round. And, of course, we had this storyline in the first half. A second round resets are oh so powerful. And in terms of reclaiming kind of a foothold in this game, so important to break that money early. But this is the all-important round. Finally, you've done the hard work. You on the Force by last time round were able to get it over the line. Found some good openings, and the alpha plant was brilliant. Now's your chance. You're up against the Deagles. You can't falter now if you're w7m. This needs to be one of your cleaner rounds.
All right, Topher holding outside of B. A little bit of pressure in towards ramp as well. Scout goes in, gets the tag, and finishes off, in fact. Nasty, nasty stuff to find this first frag. Dinny will stick around. A nice little bait of the dead body and, of course, the weapon that was dropped there. So it is traded back into a 4-on-4.
Bomb recovered. Still debating their options. A B lurk smoke comes out from your dinner there. That will make it a little more tricky for MIBR to know what's up. But ultimately, A is going to be the call. Seeking out some map control for the moment, and could have picked a brilliant option here. It's only Kizzer in defense behind Tetris. A Molotov as well would flush her out. The players come heavily up Ivy. That molly could do so much damage if it goes on to headshot.
Great timing and a great shot to drop the bomb. 30 seconds left. They've got to move fast. He smokes on the same spot. Bit of a miscom. I don't think they quite know where the Deagle was. Going to clear it together and just flying around too much for Kizia to deal with. But open angles left all over the shop. Wallbang comes close. It's a 2-on-2, of course. Heavy weapon advantage for this one, so should, in theory, go the way of w7m. But, of course, this game don't work like that. It's never that simple. Trade quick from Hera. Now just one more to find and an upgrade. In fact, to the AK, 9 HP, the difference. 11-7 on the board, but w7m counting their lucky stars. They get away with that.
Close for comfort. Too close for comfort for my money, but ultimately, Yadina saves them. 1-on-1 win for her. And they scave off the all-important kind of reset round. Force by War goes the way of w7m. And now finally MIBR swallowing their pride, eco in play. And I guess in terms of this entire map, probably the first respite for w7m. They're finally against a pretty heavy eco.
Yeah, very true. Good opportunities here to close the gap. Looks like they're going for something a bit cheeky over on B, an early flash in from the T side. Maybe makes them think against it. They definitely could have an opportunity here. It looks like at least one or two of these players want to move towards B and see what's up. Of course, as soon as contact comes in, quick flash. So MIBR, they've worked on some set rounds. It's not something that we see crazy often, but always nice to have something prepared to just drop a rifle, you know, make life annoying for one of the players on the opposite side.
Flash comes in. Yadina, though, under the stairs. Doesn't really take the flash. Players all around her. Getting swarmed here. Oh, it's a little bit awkward. Zuliana here. To save the day. Nice frags for her. And yeah, unless Makina here can find an excellent timing, should be a nice, comfortable 8 for w7m. And considering actually, Scriv, they're a long way down early on in this game, weren't they? It's already a brilliant recovery.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you know, we were after this competition. We want to see more out of w7m who've yet to pick up a victory. Of course, really struggled in week 1. Definitely against the top seed team, but at the same time, still something to consider. And they come so close. It's kind of the opposite in their game last week, right? So they'll be kind of annoyed with those types of results. So yeah, keeping things close, competitive, and it sets us up moving into Overpass, definitely, because that's where I think we have the most questions. Get to really see that out from MIBR or even w7m. So yeah, intrigued, very intrigued. Especially if this is how Vertigo, the more confident pick of MIBR, is looking right now. But we have them with the rifles. First head is lost very, very early. Very, very quickly, Arkin, you're going to go down.
So tricky as well, because how many players are towards B? You don't really know after such an early frag. It's not like w7m showed a lot of utility, and MIBR can adjust accordingly. And we can see on the minimap there's 5 players ready and waiting to scale up onto the bomb site. Only 2 in defense. Going to do so much work, but the utility is good. Toffer finds the first. Little Z's trying to do work, and actually that generator smoke screen, I think, is missed. And Little Z still being an absolute thorn in the side. Kara, though, ends the madness, as does Yadina. Cleaning up now, w7m.
Yeah, super important kill onto the AWPer for sure. Kizia, meanwhile, trying to find all 3. He comes so close to that second. Has just retrieved the kit. Clean magazine. Smoke doesn't quite land. You know, the panic of these 1vx scenarios, of course. A little awkward. Kara not really hidden away. Meanwhile, down the drop goes to Yadina, and she's just not ready, right? Trying to track where the sound was coming from. Not going to happen. Big round for w7m, of course. Little Z so close to recovering it back. Couldn't quite do it. Kizia so close to recovering it back, but couldn't quite do it. So w7m really closing the gap here. Actually threatening the lead right now.
Yeah, it's actually really important there that Yadina there in the 1-on-1 recognizes that staying towards that wood position was the only way that the MIBR player could clutch out the 1-on-1. She falls back, no opportunities to find the kill, no chance to get on the bomb, and again, a nice individual play. Gets it over the line. As suddenly, another eco. w7m and a great opportunity to get up to 10. And suddenly, from a huge lead for MIBR, we find ourselves in a very competitive scoreline. It's getting exciting here in map number 1.
Oh, flick comes close. Doesn't quite land for Kara. Yeah, I do need to be careful of these deagles, right? The range element is maybe less of a disadvantage for them. Fly will go down on the second time of asking, though, it looks like. Nice nade. Again, I told you, they tease, man. That looked very close.
That one made no sense. That one made absolutely no sense. Well, I saw it coming in, and I was thinking, definitely 70 damage, and it does about 4, so...
Yeah.
CS, bro.
That's the way it be. That's the way it be. But the rifles are finding kills, so all good. Solid advantage here for the T side, and yeah, they're just chilling with it, not getting too giddy.
Slow and steady wins the race. No need to overcommit. Play for a little bit of information, spot out these remaining players, and make an informed decision. That wasn't informed. First frag goes the way of MIBR in this mid-round situation. They've actually got the B stack. Tova finds a nice frag, but it's going to root out the King here, playing around Dupree. Can't quite connect with too many shots. And it all falls on Kizza on the flank.
Yeah, maybe going to hold this AK, the one-tap potential, of course, that we always talk about. So thinking about moving, and well, the off angle for Yadina too strong. We'll drop that AK. Of course, they're buying into this round, so it doesn't really matter. You kind of have the choice of both. And the A1S is pretty ridiculous at the moment, so there is that. But yeah, 10 rounds now for w7m. Really closing this gap well. The T side has looked much more patient, much slower than the way that MIBR were approaching things, and it's definitely paying off, right? MIBR letting the odd kill, the odd wide peak work against them.
Yeah, and let's put this map in context as well. MIBR's map pick, for everyone not called Alan, heavy favorites to win this game. And certainly given that they've looked pretty comfortable so far in Impact on this map, you would have expected it to be reasonably clean. And suddenly we're in a position now where if they don't start finding CT gun rounds, this suddenly becomes a pretty huge kind of stumbling from the MIBR squad to let such a huge lead slip away. These following rifle rounds are so important, and thankfully, Little Z is hitting home and hitting hard from Ivy.
Yeah, massive frags, and in such an important round, right? This is so often the case, isn't it? We watch an awful lot of Counter-Strike at all levels of the game, and when there's these mini comebacks, you'd be surprised how often it gets to just one round, you know? They're going to snatch the lead, and then all of a sudden MIBR, in this case, are able to make the return. Now, he said that, and I might have applied a bit of the curse to them, because we've had a couple kills come in favor of the T side. Still an advantage, not as great as it was looking. An important frag here for Udina, but can't find it on the lurk play at B. Now unsure of where to go next. Bomb needs recovering, so Juliana on that long and winding road to get the bomb back. The B sites, kind of leaving it open. Surely got to hear these steps on the metal. Smoke comes across, little awkward, but gets there eventually and will allow for the bomb plant. And they're allowing the bomb to go down. MIBR, they are putting a lot of pressure on themselves here. And, you know, low HP, AWP into the retake on the B site of Vertigo. You know, there's so much CQB action. This looks pretty scary. It's going to be tough.
This smoke as well, it feels like a brilliant smoke to put down as a T-side player, but as we're going to see, the one-ways you can force if you jump on the sandbags can be so deadly, and Udina doesn't even need the one-ways. She knows the angles, finds the first, and now they can just play off each other's contact. One player might jump through. Looks a bit crazy, but it doesn't matter when you have the fail-safe Udina playing behind Dupree, being such a rat here behind the position, and all the players in the end are going to be going down. 11-all. It's going to be. Money isn't good either for MIBR. And despite these early openings, find ourselves all square, 11 apiece.
Yeah, seems like I did indeed curse them in the end by the looks of things, but certainly on that retake, moving very, very slowly, you know, and that's something that we talk about a lot. You got to be confident. You got to go for it. But it's difficult.
That smoke is such a...
It's easier said than done, isn't it?
It sort of baits you in. You feel like it's a brilliant smoke to put down because you're covering off a lot of the angles, but you just allow the T side so much more space that they wouldn't have had to play with. And we didn't even see the one-way come into play, but when you know the lineups, obviously they can't see through the smoke and you know where they're going to be sticking it from. It's a bit like smoking CT on Mirage, kind of really late round. You can force one-ways, you can jump on ticket. It just sort of makes your opponent's life easier, even though you're trying to isolate angles. So maybe a bit of a rethink required there on the utility front.
Pause coming in then. I think MIBR certainly surprised that it has indeed come this close. They were looking in that control that we talked about, but at the same time also talked about them struggling to figure out what's up, figure out how to get back into rounds, and it seems here, get back into control of the overall game. w7m. Looking very, very scary and winning some closer, high-octane rounds. Certainly going to put
the genie bottle in the background there?
Know? Yeah.
That was it.
Flies.
Gold.
Yep. It is.
Yeah. I hope it's real gold. I'd be disappointed.
Yeah, maybe need a few wishes at the moment. Hey.
What a zinger.
Yeah. Here all week, you know, been working on my content, working on my material for a long time. Ooh, Flash. Speaking of working on, maybe indeed does need a bit of work, as Toffer has got free range, shooting range down ramp. Looking good. Hera, the only one left here. They've managed to find a killer to return on the investment. There's certainly opportunity for a little bit more, and there it is to take down another. Ooh, and the bomb coming her way. Maybe not the move. They'll stick around to hold, though, because they rightly think that Hera's coming round, and there it is. Toffer to take her head clean off, and now w7m with the lead. Here we go, getting interesting.
Business stations really at the interesting end of this game, and as we keep harking back to, MIBR was so far ahead going into the second half. They had a brilliant lead and it slipped away so quickly, all off the back of that second round reset. Have they actually won? They've only won one round since that point in the game, is that correct? So in terms of momentum swings, it doesn't get any bigger than that. And you can see Kara here so aware. Previous round, Little Z opens up towards Ivy, finds two opening picks. This time, at least in this gun round, they're ready for it. Toffer again doing so much work. You can see how they've adapted. Great stuff.
Yeah, and very quick, very confident to essentially win the round. And I think with this frag that comes in, Artinya has no idea, right? Maybe even a second. Yep, caught with an aid in hand is Hera. So w7m are starting to run away with things, actually. The scoreline of the 13-11, like Alan said, is a little misleading because since the turn of the half, it's just been all about w7m's T side. Madness.
Time to take some pauses,
Madness.
isn't it? They need to take some pauses thick and fast to IBR, because if you lose your map pick, especially in this fashion, going into the second, we don't know a great deal about w7m on Overpass, and I'm sure they're in the same boat. So you're going into dangerous waters in unknown territory if you don't stabilize here and pull it back on your own map pick.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, it's going to prove you deadly right. And that's kind of a dangerous thing. And I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it, mate. Just...
It's really dangerous. If you just feed the ego too much, it just,
yeah,
just gets out of control. Actually, I've got basically all my Pro League predictions wrong. In terms of you had to predict who was going to get out of the groups. Fair enough, there's been a few stand-ins, but I've got quite a few wrong.
There you are. Humbling yourself. That's always commendable, I think. So we'll see with this one. We'll see with this one. At the moment, looking pretty good for Alan, and I believe the 33% it was of the Twitch vote.
Exactly. w7m represent.
There you go.
w7m massive. Take it out in chat, boys and girls.
Get it going. I'm sure they'll love a little spam. Certainly Bruna, though, has definitely been one of the names, you know, Udina might be up there in terms of the frags, but Bruna feels like she's had an awful lot of impact. Around like this, you know, it's not massive, for sure, but on that CT side, there were a lot of those A rounds where she was opening up, she was looking very reliable, which I think, again, from a pundit point of view, we really do like those types of players.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, often on broadcasts and in content, we focus on the highlight frags, often the AWPers, to be honest, and those sort of rounds. But what wins Counter-Strike is logical decision-making and time again putting yourself in good positions. And fair enough, on the w7m girls, we've seen a lot of good intellectual plays and making it difficult, clearly, for a team with potentially more skill to put them away.
Ooh. Little Zito, switch up. You know, we've seen towards A ramp the past couple rifle rounds, sometimes going well, sometimes going dreadfully. So moving away from that, right? Clearly the read was in there last time. She went for the peek towards Ivy. So yeah, a change up, gets aggressive towards middle and finds the opener. Shoulder peek coming in, smoke going down. Such a difficult kind of read to deal with as a T-side player. Kara getting aggressive on the AWP, looking for some entries with it. Only a couple of them here, though. They're pretty heavily split, are the 4 remaining T players. Do need to be careful. Little Z, again, with this dynamic AWP play looking really solid, right? Taking matters into her own hands. Kizia as the smoke fades, finds 1, sets up 2. Should be all good here. Little Z through the smoke continues to find kills. And now all on to Yerdina. 10 HP, surely not a chance.
10 HP, a dream. That dream is going to plummet to the earth, just like the body here on the camera. 12 rounds it's going to be. The bad news is for MIBR, they might have stopped the train, slowed down the train, but it's still well on track to be derailed. So much money in the terrorist side camp, and if they win just a single round, it breaks the CT cash and it becomes so difficult. So a good one in the last, but a long way to go to clean this one up for MIBR.
Artinya in towards Dupree here, turns away from the flash, finds the first, and the smoke's in the way. She will get spammed down on the side of it. Hera, meanwhile, looking for a frag of her own. It's helped out by a frag grenade. 4 on 3. Bomb out in no man's land, though. That's the dangerous one, right? Very, very difficult to recover back now, unfortunately, for w7m. A slight oversight in that sense. So MIBR, very heavy upper hand on this one. Fly up close. Again, good for one, you would think, setting up another, but fluffed ever so slightly by Hera. The 2 on 2 now coming in. Still got to recover that bomb back. Still got to get past the AWP, importantly, and they don't have any smokes left to do so. Not going to be easy. Go for the double peek. They will scare her away, but can't find the frag. Oh, Kizia with the COD reload. That is maybe muscle memory getting in the way, but Little Z with the trade.
That was far too close for comfort. That should have been a really clean one for MIBR. And for my money, losing too many numbers and economically is not going to be great either. Their money is going to be so low here. The scoreline says we're almost tied up. But if WSM just win one round, w7m just win one round, breaks the cash, and should be smooth sailing to the map victory. So not out of the woods yet. And A aggression seems to be final roll of the dice here on the CT side.
Yeah, a lot of utility being expended here, and they've not necessarily got any players in deep to keep the RAM control later on. So I'm curious to see what they have planned here. That resmoke goes far too deep as well, so they need to be careful of thinking that it's safe. Kara very ready on the AWP, the Molotov coming in. Makes life a bit awkward though. Nearly goes down. And they have managed, like I say, to get that player in deep. Now Kizia goes a bit crazy around the corner and will be punished for it. 5 on 4. Or make it a 4 on 3 when the dust settles here, and maybe a chance at a couple more. They're thinking about it on the MIBR side, but they will back away and lick their wounds.
Yeah, a little bit late on the reaction, but w7m have realized that there's a lot of numbers fighting ramp. Why press the issue? We have the man advantage. Let's just group up and hit what has to be the lesser defended site. Got a bit of utility, particularly on Kara. So as long as that's placed correctly, again, we're looking at Little Z and saying, you need to do massive work or there's no hope of recovering this bomb site.
Yeah, Little Z. Tag comes in, I believe. Will also get tagged herself. Wild run-in coming in here from Arkinia, but finished off through the smoke. Kind of needs to be won this round. I think they know it, but they're going to move away to save instead. The futility comes in, right, that we often talk about in scenarios like this. So w7m hitting 15. They've got a couple to do it in. Snatch away their opponent's map pick would be massive if they could do it. Certainly blow the series wide open, but we'll see.
Yeah, and given how that first half was going, and for those that weren't around, MIBR was streaking a long way ahead on the T side, and it looked like the w7m girls are a bit out of kind of sorts. But the recovery here going on to their own offense has been sensational. Kicked off on the reset round, and since then, it's been so difficult for MIBR to find any purchase, and the AWP isn't going to be saved over Scriv. Of course, up against match point, they had to reinvest, but that was a massive frag, and it's going to make w7m's kind of life of calling this round so much easier when you know there's no sniper in play.
Yeah, very, very true. So we'll see here, w7m in a very good spot. Lil Z hearing, using those sound cues to gather some free information. Smoke doesn't quite cover off all angles. It is difficult. Quite a wide opening, of course, at the bottom end of ramp. But MIBR not really presenting at all at the top end of ramp. So going to be a dull first minute, I imagine.
Steady stuff. But from w7m's perspective, you have to recognize that they might even think the buy is worse than this. You have to expect aggression. How can MIBR win this round if they don't take an unorthodox approach? So why get aggressive? Why take any risks? Take it slow early on, and hopefully they're going to roll into your crosshairs. But we're seeing pretty passive stuff from both teams, and it's only now that w7m are thinking about ramp and I guess ultimately this A bomb site.
Topher trying to take it slow. Get into clean positions here. Bruna backing her up. Smoking a flash over the top. Udina, meanwhile, over on the B site. Going to make some noise. In comes the full frontal attack, though. Looking solid. Fly falls. Kizia can't do anything. Demolished. Absolutely demolished. There will be a couple kills coming back in for MIBR. Relatively clean, in fairness. But a lot more to go if they're to stay alive here on this map. Bullets landing through the smoke. Not quite the kill, but Arkinia weakened up heavily. Things looking very, very good for the victory here. w7m just have to keep it together. Don't let it get away from them. No crazy ego peaks, right? Shot misses on the AWP. And again, support needed from the rifles. Hera's going to have to go absolutely nuclear, and then there's no time, right? So what do you do now? Just going for the kills. The game going to be over. The kills for good measure. And the victory coming in for w7m. And you can kind of see what it means, right? They're a little elated by that, I think. A really, really solid recovery after a poor start there.
Yeah, and as I said, the w7m massive. We are now rejoicing with our prediction. You didn't see that one coming, did you, Scriv? Winning out on their opponent's map pick, and especially after that first half. Who would have thought it? Looking brilliant, and that T side was brilliant from the girls on w7m. Good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely massive. And I mean, you know, like I say, it blows the series